So in 2008, I deployed to Afghanistan with the U.S. Army. I was there until 2009. Once I came home, I decided to go to College of DuPage to pursue my education. And when I went to College of DuPage, I was still in a very militaristic state after my experiences in the service. As I was able to expand during all of my classes at College of DuPage, I found I had a very keen interest in all of the sciences. I just had such a fascination that it really drew me towards that career path. When I graduated College of DuPage, I was very happy to be accepted here at UIC. And I looked on the job board and I found that they were looking for assistance in the HIV research at the Department of Infectious Disease. And before I knew it, I had been working there my entire undergrad career. And that's kind of what led me to do what I'm doing today. I just graduated from UIC in May. I began my master's degree at Boston University School of Public Health, and they have an online program, especially due to the pandemic. I had been taking my classes and I received a call from Dr. Stockton Meyer, who is one of the top physicians in the Department or Division of Infectious Disease. And he actually asked me if I would be willing to come back full-time to help out on dual roles. So I came back to help out on the COVID-19 vaccine trials. And at the same time, I was also asked to become a project manager for the COVID-19 rapid response team. So for the Moderna COVID-19 mRNA vaccine trial, I was actually designated as the swabber for that trial, in which I performed the nasal oral pharyngeal swabs on the participants. I had an additional duty of not only having to perform those tests on each participant, but to actually talk to them, to calm them down, to lift their spirits, and to let them know what to expect. I think we had a very quick handshake with ourselves just to say, hey, we're doing a good job, we're doing this for the rest of the world, but at the same time, there's still a lot of work to be done. The trials are still going to continue regardless of whether they will be approved or not, and most likely they will be approved very shortly. But there's still so much data, there's still so much stuff that we have to find out, especially in the long term of these vaccines. So we're going to continue to run these trials on a day-to-day basis. There's just so much to cover. So our victories are very short-lived for the time being as we have to continue to move forward. Well, I always remember my time at COD. At COD, I found my love for science. And with my love for science, it continued to pique my interest as it grew, and I came here to UIC to continue that love for science. If it wasn't for COD, I wouldn't be on this track currently, and I probably wouldn't be here either.
At the College of DuPage, a student begins as a BNA, which is a basic nurse assistant. They go on to pass a course, qualified to take the competency exam at the state, become certified as a CNA, and for many it is a stepping stone onto nursing, the profession, and to go into a nursing program, quite like the one we have at College of DuPage, the Associate Degree Nursing Program. Our program goes above and beyond what is required by the Illinois Department of Public Health. Our curriculum is intense. Our students who are successful in our program are also successful in taking the state exam. Over 96% of our students are passing our state exam and do well.
I enjoyed the entire program. I thought it really gave me some great experience. I loved the clinicals that were provided, and it really did give me an idea of what I'm about to step into. So my end goal is actually to become a registered nurse. I started the BNA program, and now I'm able to have a job as a patient care technician at Edward Hospital, and from there I'm definitely hoping to gain a registered nurse position there after I complete the nursing program at College of DuPage.
I'm currently in the basic nursing assistant program to become a certified nursing assistant, and I really want to do that because I've always considered myself to be a compassionate and empathetic person. I really thought that this career path would utilize those skills. I did investigate other choices, and there are all kinds of programs available for people who want to study this, but College of DuPage is very accessible. They have a lot of different campuses, and financially it makes the most sense.
I am an international student, and I came to the States to pursue my life goal, and it is to become a nurse. I decided to come to College of DuPage because I read a lot of stories, good stories, and I saw that you have a good nursing program, and I decided to try it here first. I'm really enjoying it, and I think that I've gained a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge.
Well, the quality was excellent. The lab itself was, to me, felt like a real nursing facility setting. You were able to practice and using your skills, and by the time we had gotten to clinicals, I felt like I was very familiar with this. It wasn't like a foreign thing to me.
Well, BNA is really just the term that we use here at the college to refer to the students who are in our program. So it really is the CNA who goes out after they've been successful in our program, and they are the eyes and ears for the nurses, so it is part of a team effort. They are using their knowledge to provide comfort and care to their patients. They are using their skill set so that they can make good observations of their patients, provide quality care, safe care, provide infection control measures. And so our nursing assistants are very well prepared once they are finished with our program.
We've hired CNAs that came through the College of DuPage program, and I was very impressed with the quality of their professionalism, their skill sets. They felt comfortable in these real life situations in taking care of our clients with these personal care needs.
It was almost like a calling. It just came over me, and I wanted to go back to school to become a nurse.
My life goal is to become a good nurse and gain a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge.
Nursing is the most worthwhile occupation. I think if you want to reach out to people and help take care of each other, that's kind of why we're here.
You know, I've been in the hospital before, and I had great nurses, and they were an inspiration to me.
I feel like it's just so rewarding, and even in the 8-week clinical that we had at COD, it was just beyond rewarding. It's something that we're doing good things and helping people and giving quality care.
What does College of DuPage have to offer you? In a word, opportunities.
You name it, chances are you can study it here. College of DuPage offers over 230 degree and certificate programs. Associate degrees can be completed in 2 years when attending as a full-time student. Associate degrees allow students to transfer to another institution to continue their education or enter into a specific career field. Certificates of completion are offered for a variety of in-demand occupational and technical careers. With our 3+1 programs, it's possible to earn a 4-year degree from an area university without ever leaving the College of DuPage campus. No matter what you study, students at COD learn from the best with the one-on-one personal attention made possible with small classes. Experts in their field, our award-winning faculty are passionate about teaching and dedicated to your success.
Hello there, I'm Professor Steve Santello. Come on in, welcome to my crib. I want to show you guys first these development stations. They're collaboration stations that up to 4 students work on at a time. They design projects here, they develop the projects here. This is one of the projects that a group of 4 students developed in about 3 months. It's a top-down bullet hell game. I'm terrible at this game. It's incredibly difficult, but it's playable on all sorts of different controllers. We of course also have all the latest and greatest game consoles. We have PlayStation 4, we have Xbox One, we have Nintendo Switch. We're definitely going to be getting a lot of the new systems when they're coming out. And they use these systems like this to do research and to play test games that have already been released. But we also have development kits for Sony PlayStation and Switch, so students can develop on those too. So this is a first-person shooter. This is really meant for a keyboard and mouse, and it's a really high-octane shooter. It's again another great game that was developed by a small team of students, and in just a couple months, which is awesome and fantastic. Games like this, we end up using Unreal Engine, which I'll show you guys later on when we start walking to see some of these other machines as well. This is a really cool project. This is a VR game that was developed in Unreal. Within a couple months as well, a group of 4 students not only developed this, but won the Illinois State and National competition at Skills USA. And you can play this on VR. You can just put this headset on here, use motion controls here, and it's a again, great game. As opposed to some of these 3D games, we also do some 2D games too. And so this is one of these awesome 2D games where you're a monkey flying in a banana shooting a bunch of things, which is fantastic. And this game too can be played on all sorts of different controls as well. Back here we actually have a bunch of stations that game development students can work on simultaneously. And each one of these stations have dual monitors on them, so students can work in multiple pieces of software as they want, or as many pieces of software as they want. We can actually hold up to 16 game development students at once, and all those game development students can be working on different projects at once, or even the same projects at once. And here on these dual monitors displayed, we have Unreal Engine that is made by Epic Games. College of DuPage is actually a partner of Epic Games, which is really cool. And we use Unreal Engine to actually develop most of our game content. We can do 2D games, we can do 3D games, we can do VR with it, we can do AR with it, augmented reality, which is something that we hadn't seen in this classroom yet, but we're working on that as well. We also have other pieces of software like Substance Painter that you guys can see here as well, where students can use drawing tablets to do detailed sculpts of their models that they would create in 3D Studio Max or Maya, and then continue to paint some really awesome materials onto those models as well. As part of these stations too, we actually do in fact have these game pads here. So we have some Xbox controllers here as well, so students can practice developing games not only for keyboard and mouse, but for game pads as well. All right, I've invited you to my lab. I've shown you around. I've showed you game projects. I've showed you hardware. I've showed you software. I got to get back to work. You guys got to go. See you later.
College of DuPage wants you to succeed both inside the classroom and out. Your studies are important, no doubt. So is discovering yourself by meeting people, making new friends, getting involved, and having fun. Oh, hey, Chappie! We've got you covered on both ends, with plenty of resources to help make the most of your time.
And have an awesome college experience!
Being a well-rounded student, like anything else, is a healthy balance between work and play. When it's time to be serious about your work, our library is stocked with everything you need, plus comfortable spaces for individual and group study. Need a little extra help with your homework? The Learning Commons offers assistance in math, writing, reading, and speech, as well as options for tutoring and preparing for placement exams.
Hello, and welcome again to another episode of In the Kitchen with Chris. Today we are going to be making chocolate pot de crème. It's spelled pots de crème, but it's actually pronounced pot de crème. And it loosely translates to pots of cream. It's a French baked custard. So really, really yummy. It's very, very simple. And one of the nice things about this dessert is that you can make it the night before and then serve it to your guests the next day. So you don't even have to do it the same day because it holds beautifully in the refrigerator. So the first thing we need to do is caramelize sugar. Now, some people get a little skittish and a little nervous about this, but all you're really gonna do is melt sugar. This is granulated sugar, and I'm putting it in a pot. And then I'm going to take a high heat rubber spatula, okay? And I'm gonna turn the heat up all the way on high. So literally what we're doing is we are melting the sugar in the pot. We're gonna turn it a beautiful golden brown color, and then we're gonna add our cream and milk, which has been steeping with vanilla bean. Okay, so this will take just a couple of minutes, depending on how hot the heat is on your range top. So as you can see, it's just barely starting to melt because I have the heat turned all the way up on high. And don't be worried about the smoke. Don't be nervous about it, okay? The only thing I want to warn you about is that this sugar is about 450 degrees. So you don't want to put your finger in it to taste it. That would be a really bad idea because it's going to stick to your finger, okay? So turn this down just a touch. Okay, so it is starting to melt, as you can see. Okay, alrighty. All right. Okay, we've got some caramelized brown sugar, as you can see in the pan. Okay, nice and toasted. Now I'm going to take this and pour it right in. Add a little and stir. Add a little and stir. Add the rest. Stir it all in. Okay? So as you can see, I've got a large rubber spatula. Okay? I do not like the small ones. Often in the bake shop, we're stirring things where, like this example you just saw, we made a whole bunch of steam that came up off the pot. So we're going to turn it back on low, just the heat. And now we're going to stand here and stir for just a minute or two. All right? So essentially what you're doing at this point is you are dissolving all of the caramel that you made in the pot into the milk and the cream. So we're going to stand here and stir for a minute. Okay. And also, if it takes a few extra minutes, don't worry about it, okay? Essentially, all you're really trying to do is you're trying to get all of it dissolved in. If you get like 90%, 95%, it's fine, okay? The caramel is there to add a little background flavor to the chocolate pot de crème. Okay, so that's about done, okay? All right, so now we're gonna take a bowl and we're going to take our chocolate, okay? So this is semi-sweet chocolate. I like 61%, and incidentally, the 61% is the amount of cocoa mass. The higher that number, the more bitter the chocolate. The lower that number, the more sweet the chocolate. So for example, this is 61%, so it's going to be sweeter. If I was to use 82 or 90%, my finished product would be a little bit more bitter. Either one is fine, it's your personal preference. So now I'm going to take my yolks and my eggs, and I'm going to pour it right on top of the chocolate. Okay, So this is now ready to go. And so I'm going to add a little bit of this, and I'm going to stir. Okay. Please notice I'm not throwing it all in at one time. I'm adding just a little bit, then I'm stirring it in. So the heat is going to melt the chocolate. So add a little bit, and you keep stirring, and as you can see, it's starting to melt all the chocolate in the bowl. And now we're going to add the rest. So stand there and stir for about a minute, and it will bring everything all together. And it's going to make your mixture that still has to be baked in the oven. So, as you can see, the vanilla bean is still in there, so I need to take that out. And you can see how it's turned into a nice smooth mixture. Now this is ready to be baked. Grab a pair of tongs and grab that vanilla bean out of there. As soon as I find it, there it is. Okay. Okay, so now this is ready to go into our cups. All right, so what I've done, everyone, is I have gotten coffee cups, all right? I got coffee cups on purpose just to show that you don't have to buy any special molds for this. You can use coffee cups that are already in your house kitchen, okay? And they work beautifully. So I also have the amount for this recipe for 4. So I do not have it filling the coffee cups all the way because I'm going to garnish it with whipped cream and a chocolate cigarette. So I intentionally left it low. And one of the other instructors in the program said, hey, you know what's a great idea too? Is that if you're at a party, you can just walk around like this and you don't have to worry about dropping it because it's a great handle too on the coffee cup. I thought, that's an excellent idea. All right, so what we need to do is we need to add water to the pan. So I've already heated up this water to almost boiling. Okay, and now we're going to take our mixture and we're going to add it into this because it's a little bit easier to pour out of. Okay, all right, and now we're going to add an equal amount to each one. So I always like to add a little bit to each one and then come back and add a little bit more. Okay, that's pretty even. Okay, now the reason that we added water into the pan is so that it makes it bake more slowly and evenly. If you didn't have the water in the pan, what happens is the porcelain has a tendency to get really hot and it goes from cooked to overcooked in like no time flat. So the water slows the whole process down and makes it cook much slower and more evenly. All right, so now we're going to take this and we're going to bake it in the oven for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. And the way you tell it's done is you shake the pan ever so slightly, and there's a jiggle because it's obviously loose right now. Okay, so if you did it right now, you can see it's jiggling because it's very liquid. And so when that jiggle is gone in about 20 to 25 minutes at approximately 300 degrees, it'll be done. So let's bake this in the oven. Welcome back. All right, I have baked the chocolate pot de creme in the oven. They took about 23 to 24 minutes, and then I put them in the refrigerator for a couple hours. So now I have my chilled pot de creme, and as you can see, it made 4 portions, okay? These portions are a little bit on the small side because this is a very, very rich dessert. I would not recommend filling it all the way up because that's a lot of really rich chocolate pot de creme. So I intentionally filled them about halfway. So now what I'm going to do is finish them with a garnish. So I've got some heavy whipped cream that I sweetened and added a little vanilla. You can also go to the store and buy the stuff in the can if you'd like, or you can make it yourself. Of course, I made it myself because I like the flavor much better. And I've got some chocolate cigarettes that we're going to use as a garnish. So the chocolate cigarettes are available commercially, or you can use any kind of chocolate decoration, or you could even just shave chocolate on top. Doesn't really matter. What I do recommend though is that you add a little bit of chocolate because the chocolate pot de creme is soft, the whipped cream is soft, and it's nice to have a little texture in there. You could use a cookie, really you can use pretty much anything you want. So now we're going to garnish them. And so we're going to take our whipped cream and we're going to add a little bit right in the middle so you can still see the chocolate around it. Okay, and now we're going to add our chocolate decoration. And again, if you wanted to add more whipped cream, less whipped cream, it doesn't really matter. Okay, whatever your personal taste is totally acceptable. Alrighty, so now our chocolate pot de creme is ready, and so it's time for the best part of what I do on In the Kitchen with Chris. It's time to taste. Thank you very much for coming today. Appreciate you stopping by. I hope you learned something. Remember, chocolate pot de creme is not that difficult to make, and you can make it the night before, which is an excellent idea for a party. So you can have the dessert totally ready to go, and you can relax with your guests. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Student-athletes enjoy a winning tradition at College of DuPage, with one of the most successful community college athletic programs in the nation. The Mackinac Arts Center is not only home to students studying the arts, but it's also the place to catch a performance. There's theater, music, dance, art galleries, and more. If exercising and staying in shape is a part of your routine, check out Chaparral Fitness in the Physical Education Center, with free memberships for full-time students. COD is not a place where you have to just go to class and then go home. And seriously, who would want to?